This segment is sponsored by the local Edward Jones office of Lee Colvin. The host of the show and Edward Jones have an existing business relationship. This event is not a testimonial of services provided by Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. You know, United Communications is MTE's internet company, and they deliver fast, 99.99% reliable fiber internet to homes and businesses. Learn more at mte.com/internet. Well, as our disclaimer mentioned, we have Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin joining us today. And this kind of hits close to home. We're going to be talking about some financial steps to take before and after wedding day. Now, it doesn't hit close to home for me personally, but it did my daughter, so I guess that is kind of personal. But anyway, Lee, good morning. How are you, sir?
It's been a busy few years for you, hasn't it, Brian?
It has. 2 kids, married, one with child, granddaughter. So it's been busy. Bobby and her husband Jeffrey are soon to be homeowners here in the next month. Bought their first place, so they're all excited about that. So they're racing toward their after wedding day planning, and took about a year or over a year for their wedding day planning. So, but a lot of things to think about. It's not just, is the cake there? It's a major decision. And sometimes maybe those financial to-dos are not necessarily high on the list, but we're going to talk about some that should be.
Well, that's it. There's so much excitement, so many things that have to be focused on for the wedding. And arguably, those things are so important, but we still want to make sure that the couple are talking openly about money matters and talking about money so that they can help set up with they and their partner a strong future, right?
Yeah, so we're going to kind of talk about some financial conversations you should have with your fiance. Is a prenup something you should consider? Should your new spouse, should you blend your finances with your new spouse? What financial task should we complete after getting married? So those are some of the things that we're going to talk about. So let's talk about the financial conversations that you should have with your fiance.
So, Brian, we definitely want to suggest that you head into the marriage with very honest conversations around money. Mm-hmm. These can be difficult because folks come from different life situations, different family situations. But there are definitely 4 topics that we want to bring up today. Number 1, discuss how your families handled finances when you were young. Whether you're a spender, whether you're a saver, and what debt you are willing to take on.
Very important. Yep.
Number 2, work to share how much you each earn, how much you each spend, and how much you each save. Discussing assets and debts, including mortgages, student or auto loans, credit card balances. Looking at your partner's debt can become, because these things, your partner's debt can become joint debt after marriage. So these are things that you want to make sure you know about, that you're aware of.
Yeah, I'm sure budgeting is part of this, right?
Absolutely. Third is aligning on a budget as a couple that reflects the life that you want to build together in ways like, hey, let's talk about where we'll live, what we'll spend on housing needs and expenses, what will our travel and our hobbies look like, and how often will you review your finances together? And these are things that you want to discuss regularly.
Yeah, and discussing is a huge part of all of it, to, discuss your finances.
That's right. And then, also talking about your goals. Make separate lists of short, medium, and long-term financial dreams and compare them together. You'll likely find some common ground and where you don't look for ways to compromise, right?
Yeah.
Or let me say, you want to make sure to be open, to be look for ways to compromise. Because again, folks come from different situations, different environments, so we just want to be aware of those and be able to work with one another.
Yeah, maybe a financial advisor could help a lot with that,
Absolutely. A financial advisor would love the ability and the opportunity to be able to meet with you and your fiance to walk through these things and discuss these things.
So we're talking about steps to take before and after wedding day. I mentioned the prenup. Sometimes that's mentioned jokingly, but I mean, it's in many instances, it is something important to consider. So maybe we should talk about that, huh?
Couples with significantly different assets or debts, those expecting large boy, if I'm speak today, those expecting large inheritances or those blending families are more likely to want to consider a prenuptial agreement. A prenup outlines how assets, liabilities, and future income, as well as inheritance and even spousal support, will be handled during the marriage and if it ends. But it cannot address child custody.
Okay. So we're talking just about financial things there. Lee, what about the blending of finances? I mean, you and your spouse, this is something to consider, and it's a big question there. Thoughts on blending finances?
Oh, absolutely. Regarding couples blending finances, there is no right or perfect answer, Brian. Some couples combine everything.
Right.
I will admit, Catherine and I, we combined everything. Others like to keep their accounts separate, and many might land somewhere in the middle. And
sure.
They're all good options. So talk about them, discuss them, agree on either way, agree on who will pay which bills, how major decisions get made, and what spending threshold can trigger a check-in between you all.
Yeah, and 28 years ago almost when I got married, and we decided we were going to do things one way, and then I fired my wife from doing any bills because she sent the car payment to the house payment and house payment to the car payment, and we didn't have enough money to pay the car payment, so she got fired. But that's the way we worked it out. Sometimes it happens that way. But anyway, seriously, talking about those things.
Something tells me in 28 years you all figured it out.
Yeah. We got it figured out. And she didn't mind being fired. So, maybe someone in the marriage is better with finances. So that all plays a part. So
That's right.
We've talked about before married, what should we complete or consider financial tasks, if you will, that we should look at after being married?
So I've got 6 here to consider for us. We can kind of run through these maybe a little bit faster. But
okay.
Number 1, take advantage of the special enrollment period, which typically lasts 30 days after getting married, to update any employer benefits such as health insurance. Revisit your retirement plan contributions if your combined income has grown. So just know that, hey, we got married. It's legal. Now we need to check on any human resource benefits we have at work and see if we can qualify for changing any of our insurance coverages or enrollment coverages.
And you need to
now that we're
review that
married.
insurance coverage. I mean, that's a good time to review it all.
Absolutely. It is a great time to review it while you're in this 30-day window. Also, when you're looking at these things, review the insurance coverage that you have. Combining homeowners and renters along with auto and umbrella policies, these can often reduce costs. Make sure that you have enough life insurance and make sure that you're reviewing these things regularly. You don't want to miss one. You want to make sure that everything's protected and the family is taken care of.
And updating beneficiaries on those policies is very important, and other things too.
Definitely. Updating beneficiaries on your insurance policy, like you mentioned. Making sure that they are on your retirement plans through work or with your investment advisor. Making sure that your investment accounts have a beneficiary listed to them. Also, make sure that your bank accounts and your real estate are appropriately assessed and that you have the right folks on those assets also.
Yeah, and there may be a name change involved here, which triggers a lot of other things to look at.
Always fun.
Yeah.
Always fun. If you change your name, make sure to order multiple copies of your marriage certificate. You will need those to update your Social Security card, your financial accounts, as well as your employer and medical records.
Now, you mentioned HR things, and part of that, I mean, you probably forget about it from year to year, but it's important. You've got to pay Uncle Sam, but if you get married, it's a different tax status that you're in. So I'm sure it's a good time to look at that too, huh?
Definitely. Yeah, you want to look at your W-4 withholding. So again, you can talk to your HR officer and tell them that you want to update or review your W-4 withholding to reflect your new marital status, and ask a tax professional whether filing jointly or separately makes more sense for you and your family.
And you said 6 points. This last one is critically important, and I think it's one that we maybe put off, but this is a great time to do it because two become one. You're a family. You're married. Any type of legal document needs to have some work done because your status has changed.
That's right. We want to make sure that you're working with that attorney, creating or updating those wills. Look for medical directives. Look for financial and healthcare powers of attorney. Your estate plan should reflect your new life together. And without that, your life can be scary if everything's not put in place appropriately.
Yeah. Well, think of it as marriage is a fresh start on a lot of things, and we've just touched on a lot of them.
With honest conversations, Brian, careful planning, and the right professional support, you can definitely build a financial foundation that can be as strong as your relationship. And we want that to be strong and everlasting. Yes.
So you can talk about 28 years and all of that, and so much of what we talked about here today, Lee, involves talking with someone with financial expertise, such as yourself, a financial advisor. And when you're starting together, maybe you've never considered some of these things. And I'm sure you love to work with those newlyweds or new families or those thinking about that, just to help get them off on good footing.
I cannot tell you enough, Brian, how regularly, matter of fact, we have someone who just walked in with that same, who started with that same conversation. They called, they said, hey, we need help we need advice. Now, when you and I finish here, we'll be meeting with them to assess what might they need. Is my office the right fit? Is another Edward Jones office the right fit? So we always ask for folks to reach out to my office. We can assess where you are, what your needs are, what your goals are, and try to fit you with the right professional with the right expertise to get you down the path that would fit you best for you and your family. So
such a timely conversation today, huh?
And love to help. Absolutely.
Yeah. How do we get in touch with you?
Folks can always give us a call at 615-907-7056. Again, that's 615-907-7056.
All right, Lee. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, pal.
Thank you, Brian. Have a great day.
Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin with us on the show.